pressure on Danny Mills, on Rob Warranty, because they're the guys that's causing us a lot of problems.
Sheffield Eagles getting the second half underway then. Terry O'Connor just getting his breath back, having been across the other side of the stadium to choose a winning banner in a banner competition.
He's on his haunches, breathing them in.
Had to run up some
Sweating like
steps.
a pig.
Run up some steps.
Had to run up some steps. I thought I was going to be late. I saw you sat down, Bill. I thought you were, as your true professional that you are, I thought you were ready into the commentary.
Well, he made it just in time.
I don't know whether he'll finish it.
And it's Featherstone Rovers in possession now. And they'll be buzzing after the way they came back in the first half. But they know that there's a threat from Sheffield Eagles whenever they get near their line, and they've got away with it a couple of times. That's a good strong kick downfield. It's from Kane, and it's gone dead.
I think they'd take that. I think they'd take the ball going dead, then resetting the defence. John Sharp would have said, look, defensively we've been pretty poor today, we need to get numbers in, control the speed, just as he did there.
Mark Aston, Jed Corcoran sitting alongside him. He's unfit, got a hip injury, not able to play tonight. Here's Warranty, and don't think he was expecting that ball. Took it back in field.
No, you stayed horizontal.
Warranty plays the ball. Again, they come down the short side. Craig Brown, and Brown gets to his feet to play the ball. It was Adam Hayes, I beg your pardon. Just over the halfway line now, the Sheffield Eagles. Thought Buckingham might have fumbled that. Here's Ryan Hepworth, and Hepworth, big, strong front rower. That's the fifth tackle. Expect the kick from Bram Barney. He'll just dink this one over the top, and that sits up very nicely indeed for Andy Kirk. A quiet night has Andy Kirk. Kirk struggling to get to his feet to play the ball, but with a dramatic tumble from him there.
But that set of six, when Ryan Hepworth takes the ball to the line, he's that big, he'll be able to get his arms free. And he needs Bram Barney, he needs Lindsay following him up, looking for that second phase rugby, because he can get the ball away.
Foot on it, Wayne.
Tom Saxton, only 24 years of age, but very experienced player. Tom Saxton, a Challenge Cup winner in his whole days. He's also played with Salford and Castleford and Wakefield. He's been around. Now it's Featherstone Rovers, and the kick straight into the arms of Warranty. Oh dear, Warranty's gone without it. And I think he was already eyeing up the open acres of the field and went without the ball there.
He must have been. He must have had 20 hit-ups in that first half. He's the hardest working player on this Sheffield side. He's trying to put it from his left arm into his favoured right arm and just fumble it.
Well, what a costly error that could be from Rob Warranty. And it's given Featherstone Rovers a great attacking position. It's with Thackeray now.
But that comes down to concentration. He'd done the hard work, he caught the ball, there was no pressure applied to him, but he just dropped the ball, just looking up where he was going to run to.
Jack Lee just tackled short of those posts, but Featherstone Rovers in great position here. Wild ball was back on the inside, but Thackeray couldn't get the pass away to him. Whittaker it was with the tackle. Now it's with Kane, and Kane thought he'd seen a gap. He could well have found a gap, but Whittaker again is there. Buckingham too to make the tackle. The pass is fired up into the hands of Houston, and Sheffield nearly had a problem there. Opportunity for Wild Boar, and he is in. And eventually the Eagles' defence cracked, and the full-back Los Wild Boar with his fourth try of the season. And Sheffield were looking maybe on their outside for the danger, and Wild Boar came back inside, and the Featherstone Rovers supporters delighted.
Initially, Bill, I thought Sheffield had done enough. I thought they'd done an excellent job of defending the line. It all comes from this mistake. You can't afford to surrender possession that close to your line. And Los Wild Boar shows it on the outside, left foot step. He does incredibly well to get that ball down, almost putting it down over his head. Great footwork, great skill. In actual fact, the Sheffield player could have helped him put that ball, but they'll be happy for those points.
I think it was Tom Buckingham who made a valiant attempt to deny that try, but Wild Boar wouldn't be denied. Now he has the opportunity to convert his own try. And that favours his kicking style, and that extends Featherstone Rovers' lead. They're ahead by 20 points to 12 now.
This was a clever manoeuvre try by Andy Kane. He got the ball, he took it, but Loz Wildboar, he'd got it, he'd seen it. Damien Reid was going sideways. That was because they'd pulled him into the ruck. Damien Reid had to come in because there were shorter numbers in the middle of the pitch. Adam Hayes just reaching there, but couldn't get hold of the strong and impressive Loz Wildboar.
You know, it's Hayes who did a sterling effort there, but just couldn't deny him.
Come on. Go.
I'm not sure if he hadn't have done that, or if he hadn't have rolled over, that Loz Wildboar would have struggled to get that ball. But either way, great skill.
Hold. Go.
So Featherstone ahead by 20 points to 12. They need a 12-point margin. Deny Sheffield Eagles the bonus point, and Featherstone will move into the top 6.
And the big guys are running onto the ball more aggressively. Joe Hurst, they're taking the ball at speed, going off the inside ball off Andy Kane. That's what they need to start doing if they want to start winning this ruck.
They're looking confident now of Featherstone Rovers. Saxton, that characteristic little skip and step, and he's almost got away. Damien Reid clinging onto him.
Hold now, Jack. Hold. Hold. Go.
Saxton plays the ball. On the last it is. Thackeray stabs the kick in, and Mills very thankful for the way that ball sat up. Not so happy to see the reception committee there.
That's great stuff from Featherstone. Andy Kane taking the ball off second receiver, which means the defensive line is right up. Can't put pressure on him. Gets a nice little kick away, and the chase is up to it.
3. Come on, 10 metres now. Hold it. Hold it. Go.
Ford was waiting, but the play the ball was very slow. Sheffield coming wide. It's with Reid, and Reid will take the tackle. Let's go down to the sidelines, get some news from Ben.
Stand up.
Sheffield coach Mark Aston won't be happy with that first contribution in this second half, because the word in the half-time dressing room was to cut out the errors, and that error from Rob Warranty led to the Featherstone try. He feels that they're creating enough chances. They created 4 or 5 opportunities in that first half, and if they take them, they've still got the patience to win the game. Talking to Dave Downs, the Featherstone assistant coach, and the word in their dressing room was to control the ruck speed. I think Barry alluded to it at the break. They think that if they control the floor, they can win the game.
Tackle 1. Stand up now.
Well, Sheffield
Stand up.
on the floor at the moment, in the shape of Jack Howison, and here is Whittaker. Well, Whittaker has really worked hard tonight. Hasn't always come off for Matt Whittaker in this game, but he's been there. Brambani fires that pass up, marshalling the troops, as is Paul Pickering, and Pickering darting run from him. Plays the ball, Brambani fires it up. Howison does well to offload for Stringer. Stringer back out there, damaged ankle notwithstanding, and he's tackled. That's the 5th tackle. Now then, what's the kick like? Well, they're running it. Whittaker on the charge. Whittaker gets the ball away. Play on, says the referee. And Warranty is in the corner, is he? It's Mills, I beg your pardon, who's in the corner. He gets the try. His second of the night, Danny Mills. And the Eagles hit back, and they kept that ball alive well. I thought it was going to come to an end with Matt Whittaker, but he managed to offload to Lindsay, and Lindsay got the ball wide.
It's Danny Mills who puts the ball down for the try, but let's pay credit to Matt Whittaker, who hasn't had the best night, but it's always a test of your character, how you react to things when they go wrong. He's strong in collision here, cuts a good line, gets the ball away, and quick hands sees Danny Mills going for a simple try. Very pleased with that. Great response.
Danny Mills in his second spell with the Sheffield Eagles. Also had a spell at Doncaster, the Leeds-born winger, and that takes him to 14 tries for the season, so it gives Mitch Stringer a bit more work to do. And Johnny Woodcock with difficult conversion attempt now. This is the trickiest kick he's faced all night. But it really is a tit-for-tat game, this. Sheffield scored, Featherstone came back. Featherstone scored, Sheffield came back, and so it's gone on. Woodcock from the sidelines has missed with that one. but there's still not a lot to choose between these two sides. It's Sheffield 16, Featherstone 20 now.
Sheffield playing more of an expansive game plan in this second half. And look at the strength by Matty Whittaker, the awareness not to go down. Brandon Lindsay just sees that Danny Mills is holding his touchline, gets the ball to him, and he gets his just deserves for a really tremendous night he's had.
A few bugs in the air tonight, humid, sticky evening. Oh, the restart almost causes problems, and it's that man Whittaker there to tidy up for the Sheffield Eagles when that could have gone very horribly wrong for them.
Hands out to that rook, come on, listen to me.
He's been strong tonight. He's worked so hard, Jack Howison. Not so much when he's near his opposition's line, but when he's doing the donkey work, when he's doing the hard stuff, you need somebody big and strong in the middle to carry that mantle. He wears the skipper's armband as well.
Oh, and Mitch Stringer has gone without that one in spectacular fashion. Shake of the head from the former Hoyland Viking. That's where his career started, and he still gives something back to that club near Barnsley, coaching there. But he's given the ball back to Featherstone Rovers now with that knock on.
And when you come off the bench, you've got to be up to the speed of play, and it's not just like getting your muscles warm, but your concentration has got to be there. And just Mitch Stringer come on only a couple of minutes to go, and he's got to get his mind focused on this game.
Kurt getting involved in the action, coming back across the field. Now it's Blakeway. Field doing well to offload and finds Matty Dale. Dale, first half try to his name. So we're going to get a Featherstone response to that Sheffield try. That's the way this game has gone. Thackeray shows the ball. He's looking for try number 2. He tackled just about 5 metres out. 3 tackles gone. The ball with Jack Lee, and Lee goes for the line, and did he get there? I think he was held up.
See if he's got it down, please.
See if he's got it down, says Robert Hicks to video ref Thierry Alibert. I don't know if he did get that down, Jack Lee, the 19-year-old who's on loan from the Castleford Tigers.
It's Jack Lee, the hooker, the second half replacement hooker, who gets out from dummy half. The Sheffield defenders seem content to stay on their own line. I think he's probably short there.
Well, Brendan
There's
Lindsay.
the initial contact. He arches forward.
Is there an actual bobble there? Does he lose the ball? I think he's lost it before the line. The pressure the Sheffield players on top of him, and just about there.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Good spot.
It's harsh, that.
What's harsh? It was a knock on.
But it's what Thierry Alibert sees that's the key to this.
Yeah, we were wrong in the first half.
And has Jack Lee got his first try of the season, or will that be disallowed by video ref Thierry Alibert? No try. Held up is the decision, which is
held up, so he's actually judged that he's gone over the line,
Yeah.
and he's been held up.
well,
That's a strange one, when the ball's actually touched the floor there.
and they get the ball back. They put the kick in, and the ball is gathered, and they're in for the try. And it's Saxton who gets it. Well, Sheffield Eagles can feel hard done by there, because the decision gave the ball back to Featherstone Rovers. And from that, the last tackle, the kick is swooped on by Saxton. He gets his 6th try of the season, and they do get the points.
Featherstone being the quickest to react. They're just caught short here, but instead of dwelling on things, instead of cursing their luck, a lovely little kick from Thackeray. And it's Rob Warrancy who's unable to catch the bomb. It really is the most difficult job in rugby league when you're that defensive winger with a Featherstone player just on the outside of his peripheral vision, taking his focus off the ball. Tommy Saxton gets his first points.
Saxton read that one perfectly. Dickens then with this conversion from the touchline. Oh, missed, but only just. 24-16 the scoreline in favour of Featherstone Rovers.
He said this game going tit for tat. But Thackeray, this is now so good. Look at the kick, the onside chase. Andy Kirk comes in, putting pressure on Rob Warranty. He looks up, but Tommy Saxton comes and steals it from under his nose.
So Featherstone Rovers have hit back.
Tackle one. Stand up now. Come on, movement. Hold this 10. Go.
Here come
Time the 10, mate.
Featherstone Rovers again. There go Wigan Warriors. 30 points to 0. Who would have predicted that tonight? Huddersfield, the season they've had.
Paul Anderson's doing a fantastic job at Huddersfield, isn't he? Brian Noble, his old coach, his old mentor. It's nice when players or former players come back and haunt the mentors.
Come on, hold. Go back. Go.
So Featherstone ahead, 24-16 here. And still haven't just got enough distance between themselves and Sheffield to
Hold, Mitch. Go.
think of a top 6 place on the back of this win. Kane doing well there to step out of trouble. Oh, and then he's given the ball away to Ford, and he'll go in under the posts. And what a giveaway that was. And James Ford denied twice in the first half. Yeah, you got that one, mate. Right under the posts. And Featherstone Rovers, well, talk about tit for tat. This is getting ridiculous. You score one, we'll have one. And they handed that one to James Ford.
Andy Kane decides he might have a little look. The pressure from Sheffield has come up. He can't get a clean kick away. And James Ford thinks, my God, it's just popped right into my hands. Shows great pace. I'm not sure who he's pointing to in the crowd. Oh, he's pointed to us, sorry. Tremendous pace. As you said, Bill, his third chance, his third opportunity. Featherstone players weren't aware that Andy Kane was looking to play. Some of the players, in fact, in front. And it's Tommy Saxton who fumbles the ball, gives it to James Ford, who's delighted to get his name on the score sheet at last.
Well, he certainly will be, because he's an ex-Featherstone man, had 3 seasons with Rovers, and the Featherstone supporters just letting him know about that as he jogged back, having scored that try, which is now converted by Johnny Woodcock, and it's 22-24.
He's done a lot of work this second half, James Ford, and the first half defensively he was very, very sound. He put a lot of pressure on him, but Andy Kane just going across, come off Anthony Thackeray's head. James Ford saw the try line in front of him and just kept pumping those legs, and comes up with the try to get them back into the game.
Well, he was the top try scorer last year. In fact, he's been the top try scorer for the last 2 years, James Ford, but he's got a bit of ground to make up this season on Danny Mills, who's up to 14 now after his 2 tries tonight. And of course, you've got Mick Stringer with his 12 tries this season. So just a couple of points separating these 2 sides now, and we've still got over a quarter of the game to go. And here is the try scorer Ford, eager for more, but a long way to go for Sheffield Eagles. Pickering, oh, that's a bad pass, and it's going to be scooped up by Featherstone, is it? No, they couldn't get a hold of it, but they'll get head and feet at the scrum.
He's had a night to remember, hasn't he, Matthew Whitaker? Just a simple catch and take the ball up. It was a little bit behind him in his defence, but you can't afford to do that.
The way the game's going, you can see Featherstone scoring this set of 6.
That's a bold prediction, that is.
That is a bold prediction, isn't it?
Here's Blakeway, plays the ball. The run from Jack Lee, denied just a few moments ago by the video ref.
Hold, 2 feet, go.
He plays the ball. And they're again just short of the try line. It was Dickens, I think, who was very close. It was. They're coming back in field. It's with Blakeway. Blakeway right in front of those posts again. Sheffield under pressure on their own try line. The ball back for Field.
Movement, 2 feet, Jack. Hold.
Oh, that was a scruffy play, the ball, and a knock on. And disappointing end to that set of 6 for Featherstone Rovers. It promised a lot.
Jamie Field, just in his haste to try and get up and play. Well, you're right. Mitch Stringer did have a hand in there. We've seen a lot of them, and to be fair, for the people watching at home, it really is dark and gloomy. Even though it looks like it's been a bright sunny day, it has, but it's rained and very dewy. I think Danny Mills and Rob Warrancy have been outstanding tonight. They've been the difference.
Oh, what's Mills doing? What is Mills doing?
He
was tackled.
It was Andy Kirk, Bill, who was trying to drag him into touch.
But he didn't. He probably would have got the penalty there.
And he picked up and he threw the ball away.
Here we go. It's Andy Kane.
He's stopped. In all likelihood, Kirk would have been penalised, surely.
Yeah, I think they can feel unlucky there, Sheffield.
Come on, guys.
You're right there, Bill. I'm with you on that one.
That's one.
And in the end, the penalty's awarded against Mills for incorrect play.
It was the actual second effort that should have been penalised, shouldn't it?
Stand up.
But Sheffield now under pressure from the release and the pass from Danny Mills.
McLaughlin plays that ball. They're doing well to keep it alive, and Blakeway.
3. Stand up. 2 feet. Go.
Richard Blakeway plays that ball.
4. Stand.
Again, they're targeting that left-hand side for Sheffield, but strong again in defence.
Thackeray. Long pass from Thackeray reaches Kane. The kick, and it's eventually is snapped up, and it's Reid who's got away. Damien Reid going back in field, didn't have the pace to get away that time.
If he could have got the ball to Rob Warrington.
He's dropped that. He's dropped that, Damien Reid. Oh my lordy. And now he's giving a penalty away. Great break from him initially. Tried to get up and play the ball without his thumb around the rugby ball. Just drops the pass. Here we go.
Don't have players to talk to me like that. If he talks to me again like
He'd
that.
have pinned his ears back.
Come on, mate. Time on.
Damien Reid is just giving a ticking off.
Cardinal sin, answering back to the referee. We don't need that in our game, but putting the team under pressure. They're inviting Featherstone into this game, aren't they? They're inviting them to come up with the points, and I see Featherstone just coming up with he's just kneeing him there. Damien Reid loses it. But Damien Reid very upset for the attention that he's been getting from the Featherstone players.
It was Joe McLaughlin with the knees, not spotted by the referee. We heard the chat.
But you must keep your discipline. You've got to keep your discipline.
Well,
don't look at the referee.
It's exactly what the latest edict was about, wasn't it? About abuse of officials and disrespect. And that's what it cost you. 2 points from the boot of Stuart Dickens.
Let the referee ref the game. You're never going to look at the referee and shout at him and tell him to give you the penalty, because if you start abusing the referee, he'll penalise you.
And he won't change his mind either. And irrelevant of the referee, I'm not too concerned with the referees being shouted at. I'm concerned with the example that it sets for the kids coming through. We don't want to get into a situation that we've got in other sports where it's just a barracking match, and whoever puts the most amount of heat on the referee, then the referee's going to buckle.
And Jack Howison saw Sean Hesketh heading his way there and thought, right, let's have a bit of it this time. And they met again, but that wasn't quite as spectacular as that first half collision between those two. Here's Wayne Price. So Featherstone ahead 26-22 at the moment, courtesy of that latest penalty from Dickens. And here he is now.
Stand up, come on.
He plays the ball.
Balls, behave.
McLaughlin. Little chip ahead, and it's straight into the arms, and then back out of the arms of Dominic Brambani. Well, he was in possession 1 minute, and then the ball squirted out of his hands again and was snapped up by Damien Reid, so that was fortunate.
But what was Tommy Saxton thinking there? Instead of coming up with a little chip over, tear the penalty, or tear the... Look, absolutely, what was he doing? Put himself under pressure, his teammates under pressure, and then now and Rob Warrington's got the ball on the 30-metre yard.
And Warranty going across the field. He's a glutton for punishment, isn't he?
Just on that Tommy Saxton player, I played under a coach, I won't tell you who it is, he said chips belong with fish.
Well, this is Sheffield Eagles on the attack again. Ford plays the ball. Here's Brendan Lindsay, the Australian who signed a new one-year deal with Sheffield Eagles, but the pass has gone astray and it's snapped up by Stuart Dickens, and Featherstone Rovers have it back.
And good commitment by Dickens to get onto that ball. The Sheffield defenders were coming in, trying to put pressure on him, trying to dislodge that ball. Just seeing how you lose the ball, but great commitment, Stuart Dickens. And that's what you want from your captain.
Kirk struggling to get to his feet to play that ball. Well, we're back with more National League action next week, next Thursday. The top two meet at the Shea, Halifax against Salford, next Thursday at 7:30 on Sky Sports 3. If you can't get to the Shea, then join us on Sky Sports for that game. Woodcock chasing back for that, and has got a reception committee for him then. They're going to try and keep him in his own in-goal area. but Woodcock doing well there.
And that's what I was going to say about when Tommy Saxton come up with the kick. That's where you want to play the Sheffield side. You want to kick it into the corner, you want to put pressure on Warrington, put pressure on Mills and restrict them to the yardage.
Warrington making sure he keeps a hold of the ball that time. Here's Danny Mills now. Mills scooting away. Needed a tackle from Tonks to halt his progress and gets the penalty. And Tonks just halting his progress a bit too long for the referee's liking.
Tony Tonks again knows the danger of this fella. Both him and Warrington all night have been getting in behind the ruck, making the big fellas work. And he had no option other than to give the penalty away.
Here's Howison, and another penalty, and they're offside, I think, Featherstone Rovers. It was a high shot, I beg your pardon. Dickens on Howison. They'll take the tap.
Let that go.
And his Stringer
I know we're tiring, work. Move, shoot.
gets to his feet to play that ball. Here's Howison. They are two big units, Howison and Stringer in that front row. Oh, and there's a problem there for McLaughlin. McLaughlin still on the floor with problems. Whittaker almost spinning over the try line. He's lost that ball. The referee says play on, and another chance goes begging for the Sheffield Eagles.
I'm not sure whether
is still down.
I'm not sure whether one of the Featherstone players actually dislodged that ball out of Matty Whittaker's hands. He's just trying to reach towards the line. It just pops out, Bill. You're right.
Squirted out, hasn't it? And McLaughlin is not looking clever.
Yeah,
in
let's
back
show
play at
some
the moment.
common sense here now. You don't see rugby players stay down like that, and he squealed when he went down and all. Somebody needs to tell the referee.
And the kick downfield, fielded by Danny Mills. Mills weaving his way back upfield until he runs into Sean Hesketh. And now Robert Hicks does stop play. Just while they can see to Joe McLaughlin up at the other end of the field.
Here we are, is the player just at the bottom of the...
Oh, it's his...
Is it his right knee? Just in the middle. Oh, man, yeah.
It's his left knee, I think. I think it's a collision with a teammate as well that jarred it.
If you look at the reaction of the player when he did it, he squealed, and you don't see rugby players do that. The pride gets them up.
Look at him, he's paying the wince there as he's trying to stop Big Jack House, and he pulls out the tackle.
Yeah, it is his left knee, Bill, you're right. And look at him, writhing in agony.
Well, that is bad luck for Joe McLaughlin. It looks like a serious knee injury, and he's been getting good reviews from John Sharp, the Featherstone Rovers coaching consultant, his form in the last few weeks. Of course, Featherstone tried to sign Mark Gleeson from Warrington, and that deal fell through at the last minute when Gleeson decided to go to Halifax. And now McLaughlin looks crocked. A problem for Danny Evans and for John Sharp. And play held up while McLaughlin is moved on to the stretcher.
Actually securing his leg, putting the splint on it, so there's no movement from him. They don't want to make any matters worse for the lad.
And it's an issue, Tez, for the players down at the bottom. Whenever you get an injury in rugby league, you know it's a serious one. Everybody stops, you stand still, you give time for the player who's injured to get off the pitch. But also, you've got to keep your focus and concentration, because very, very shortly it's going to be your turn to defend, your turn to attack the line.
Well, just as Joe's there's getting a bit of attention and he's getting carried off, you can see all the water carriers on for the Featherstone side, telling them to control the ruck, telling them to get tighter, to control these first few tackles that the Sheffield players are going to come up with against them. And they're already getting set, they're on the marks, they're trying to get off the line as quick as possible just as Joe goes off the pitch.
Sympathetic applause for former West Hull player Joe McLaughlin then as he's carried from the field. And it's a worrying sight for this Featherstone side. As I said, he'd been in such good
Last
form.
you played before, you won't get past here.
Let's hope it's not too serious.
One of the worst sights in rugby league, the stretcher.
Go.
It's a shame for the lad. He's had a good game tonight and been playing really well.
Well, they've got Jack Lee on loan
Hold up,
from Castleford Tigers, a hooker, so he can expect to see a bit more game time.
There's
In
Tiger
fact,
hand, of course, Bill.
Yeah, there is. Oh, the pass for Warranty, and he went without it.
It's not gone his way this second half. The first half, everything was coming off for him. The ball was a perfect pass off Damien Reid. Damien Reid hit a real good line, knew that Warranty was outside him. He just had a little look up to see who was in front of him.
Stand back on. Hold. Bowling.
Just the 4 points separate these two sides. Sheffield Eagles 6 in the table, Featherstone Rovers 7th.
Stand up now, stand up. Come on, Brendan.
There is Jack Lee, number 14. But Featherstone, can they recover? It's always a
Stand, Nick, stand.
blow, isn't it, when you see one of your teammates being carried off like that and maybe just sort of takes the wind out of people's sails momentarily.
When you lose one of your talisman and one of your big directors, like your hookers are so vital and important because they guide you around the pitch, they get out, they lock on the acting halfbacks. But this penalty, Mick Stringer putting the Sheffield team under so much pressure.
A little shove on Jamie Field. And that's cost Sheffield Eagles the penalty, and once again Featherstone Rovers going for the 2 points.
Do you think that'd have been a penalty?
Shows you how close this game's been.
Well, Dickens will fancy his chances with this one. He is a prolific goal kicker. And a lot for the coach Danny Evans to think about. Joe McLaughlin still on the sidelines having treatment, and Dickens has landed 2 more points just to open the gap up a bit further between Sheffield and Featherstone. 28-22 Rovers lead at the moment.
Stuart Dickens as the captain of the side, he's just chipping away at this score. He knows that if the Featherstone side win by 12 points or more, they jump ahead of Sheffield in the league competition, and it's so important getting towards the business end of the season where you finish up in that league.
And there's still a lot for them to go for, of course, because, okay, Salford and Celtic Crusaders might be the license winners, but for the other sides in the competition, there's the playoffs and the grand final to play for. Will the motivation still be there?
Of course it will, because all of these players, you know that these lads weren't going to get into Super League, but these guys want to play in a grand final. They want some silverware. They've had a hard off season, they've had a hard season, and now they want to come up with some silverware. Stuart Dickens coming up with a mistake there, again putting his team under pressure, and both of these sides not giving themselves any field position. They're coming up with the mistakes in their own half.
Let's get a quick word from Ben down on the sidelines about Joe McLaughlin.
Yeah, the first verdict on that McLaughlin injury, Bill, it's a dislocated kneecap, and the diagnosis is that he will be spending several weeks on the sideline after what was a painful looking injury.
No, it was out. It was in the second row.
It's
Tackle one.
pretty grim news for Joe McLaughlin and for Featherstone Rovers, and painful injury.
If I can make Joe McLaughlin feel a little bit better, I remember Danny Sculthorpe suffering the same injury very early on in his career. So it's not career threatening, they're just occupational hazards or injuries. It's how you deal with it, how you use your time while you're off, and I'm sure he'll use it wisely.
Hold. Go.
Stringer gets to his feet to play the ball. Howison.
Don't let him hold it, yeah?
Howison similarly, head down,
Stu, hands out.
backside up as he makes that charge. Brambani. It's with Craig Brown, and Brown
Hold it.
tackled on the 10-metre line. Brambani now. Here's Jack Howison, and Howison, the legs taken from underneath him by Jack Lee. The hooker, Grant Edwards, goes sniping for the try, but he's lost possession, and Featherstone have it back. And there's another Rovers player down injured. Loz Wildborough, I think, sort of bang in the ribs there as Grant Edwards hurled himself at the line.
And again, Stuart Dickens, captain's not come up with the ball, right place, right time, but that's because he's working so hard.
He was that slow playing it, he was able to move.
Well, Dickens got the rebound, but Grant Edwards got the first impact. There's Mark Aston, and Featherstone Rovers once paid £100,000 for Mark Aston in his playing days. That was back in July 1994. And then they bought him back for about £40,000 later, didn't they?
Don't blame me because you haven't got
Sounds like your business sense, that,
Blame me
Tez.
for other things, but not that. Don't walk forward.
He was so instrumental. Everyone remembers 1998 Sheffield v Wigan. That guy who won the Lance Top, but he's so inspirational to the Sheffield side, and he's so off the pitch now. He's done a tremendous job building this Sheffield side back up, reforming the club, and they've really come alive, haven't they? They're sixth in the competition, and some great talent coming through. So there's a lot of the youngsters that have come through in the Yorkshire, South Yorkshire Academy team now.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate, says Mark Aston at the moment. Of course, Sheffield having to contend with the fact that they now share this ground with Rotherham United, the football team, having relocated here, and just taking a bit of time to settle into a relationship, I think, with their new co-tenants. Sheffield looking for local authority support to build their own ground, in fact, to develop their own ground. And Warrensey, an ironic cheer from the crowd as he gets a hold of that one. Or can he ram those cheers back down their throats with a good strong run? Not if Featherstone have anything to do with it. Wildboar is treated and back in position at full back, but that left-handed is that's the problem. And looking a bit uncomfortable, just hanging down by his side at the moment. There he is, the fullback. Try scorer tonight. And there's the man that did the damage, Grant Edwards. I think it was the impact of his charge that caused the damage. Oh, the pass was too strong, and it's been snapped up by Thackeray. So Featherstone Rovers have it back.
I thought Anthony Thackeray had come out of the line far too. If you see, he's out, he adjusts himself. The ball comes on the floor and he picks it up. Featherstone in a good position now.
They lead 28-22 with 8 minutes, coming up to 8 minutes on the clock. And they're looking to extend that lead, but again they've coughed up possession, and it's Ford who's come up with it, and Sheffield keeping it alive, and Whittaker takes the pass from Ford and beats the first line of defence. So both these sides guilty of squandering possession. Nobody really has given a textbook display of ball retention tonight.
The account statistician must be the busiest bloke in the stadium. All he's done is tick, 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 tick. If there's a mistake to make, both sides have made it.
Here's Lindsay. And Sheffield. Can they strike back? Zostak plays the ball. Howison. Good strong run from Howison. He plays the ball. Grant Edwards, Dominic Brambani now. Brambani finds Whittaker. Whittaker puts the kick in, and Sheffield will get it back, and Reed dumps it backwards. And they were lucky to get away with that, Sheffield. And it's on the last now. What will the kick be this time? Will it be a kick? It's Lindsay with a little chip and chase, but that's too strong. Oh, they've lost it! And Lindsay, I think, will get the try, will he? The try is awarded. Now, whose try is it? It's a penalty try. A penalty try, says Robert Hicks. And I think it was Lindsay who was held back as he went to dive on that ball. Zostak did touch it down eventually, but before that, Lindsay went for it. We'll have another look. But that, I think, is where the penalty was awarded.
The ball is on the floor. Thackeray can't get hold of it. Both players are scrambling. Well, Thackeray is trying to catch the ball and ground it, standing still with his feet. Robert Hicks has adjudged that Loz Wildboar has restricted Brendan Lindsay. I think he's entitled to have a stab at that ball. I don't think he's holding him back.
That is a massive decision from Robert Hicks. The penalty try, and Woodcock bang in front of the posts. And this to level the scores. 28 points apiece. And Lindsay was denied and the penalty try awarded.
But it was better play by Sheffield in the build-up to this. Anthony Thackeray judged to be holding him down, but you've got to build your pressure, and this is where the pressure comes.
Or was it the trip from Wildboar? Was there a trip there? Just on the left of the frame.
Robert Hicks has actually said he pulled him back, and that's why he's awarded the penalty try.
Very experienced player, Brendan Lindsay. A very popular player. The fans delighted that he signed on for another season. And on his way to Scotland tomorrow, weekend off of course, Sheffield Eagles, and Brendan Lindsay, his parents over here from Australia to watch him tonight. They're all going up to trace the family roots this weekend, and of course he was in the Scots squad last season. Whether he'll be featuring in terms of their World Cup squad this time, well, that's one for Steve McCormack.
Well, for the coaches, they'll be sending out the rule of, look, you've got to keep hold of the ball, get to your kick, good kick chase pressure, and let's get the ball down the other end. You've been making far too many mistakes. Don't put yourself under pressure. Give a penalty away. Is there anything could happen?
With 5 minutes left, Tez, it's anybody's game. Who are you going for?
Whoever controls the ball.
Which will be...
Here is Damien Reid. Now Featherstone Rovers, a draw last week against Salford when they were in control of that game. Are they going to have another draw here tonight? The kick is good. Wayne Price running it back. The chase is good.
And that is an urgent chase. Look at the amount of red jerseys there. Wayne Price caught the ball behind the line, looked up, and he just seen a red wall in front of him.
Buckingham, good work from Tom Buckingham there, the former York and Doncaster man. And Featherstone struggling to get out now of their own 40.
And they need the speedsters in there, like Sheffield have had all night. They get in there, they get the front foot. That's what this Featherstone side is.
Oh, the error! Thackeray it was who's come up with it, I think, and he's furious but frustrated as well.
I could answer that question now, Barry. I think Featherstone will go on to, Sheffield will go on to win this game. Jamie Field popping the ball to Thackeray. Wasn't expecting it. He looked at the ball, it was just dipping at his knees. Putting the team under pressure, Jamie Field. All he had to do was get to the kick and try and force the error up the other end.
But Anthony Thackeray so frustrated from that decision given against him for that penalty try then. Following that then, the putting that ball down, and look at that final score from the JJB. Huddersfield winning 34 points to 4. Who would have thought? Wigan looking for the points to just consolidate their 4th place in that Super League table, and now they find themselves under pressure again, and that's good news for the Catalan Dragons as well. It's good news for the Huddersfield Giants. So will Sheffield go for the 1 point here? They're already well placed. Brambani is standing back, or will it be Woodcock? No, they're running it. Lindsay, that's 4 tackles gone. Surely they've got to go for it now. Brambani is screaming for it. He's standing back. Oh, the ball is charged down. They'll get another set of 6, they will.
That's one of those times when you just got to hope that your side can regather the ball. If you manage to touch it, denying that team the 1 point.
Oh, the penalty is awarded to the Sheffield Eagles. It was Kane, I think it was, who was penalised for interfering at the play of the ball. And will this cost Featherstone Rovers the game?
And as we said, you've got to control your emotions. It was Andy Kane who put the pressure on there. And what you've got to do, you've got to be aware, you've got to defend this next set of 6. The ball's still alive. And again, probably trying too hard, trying to come up with that play and dislodging the ball, giving the penalty away.
That's the point I was going to make. If you do deny your opposition their chance to get that 1 point, you've got to have the knowledge that if you don't regather that ball, you've got to defend for another set of 6. You've got to be strong, or you might as well have let them get the drop goal.
Johnny Woodcock has kicked 4 from 5 so far tonight on his 70th appearance for the Sheffield Eagles. Danny Evans, you saw just a moment ago, the Featherstone Rovers coach, furious just with the last 10 minutes probably for his side. And Woodcock with this to win the game, is it? He's missed it!
Oh, he's missed it.
Across the face of the post. You would have put your house on Johnny Woodcock landing that over 600 points. And for the club, and Mark Aston mystified as to how he's missed that as well.
There's nothing wrong with the stride, Bill. It's sometimes the pressure gets to these kickers It's the most difficult job. Everybody's willing you to get it from your side. People against you, they're willing you against. Sheffield have got to get all the way back up to the other end of the pitch, or Featherstone have got to force an error.
They've got 45 seconds to try and do that, or else these sides are going to have to share the spoils here tonight. And that will be frustrating for Featherstone. Now then, Sheffield, are they going to get this one wide and just try and set somebody free in the closing seconds here? They've got 30 seconds. 46-12 at the Willows. Salford have won that one. Here it is neck and neck, a nail-biting finale. 20 seconds to go. Mills comes across the field looking for a gap in the line, and Mills on his knees. It's got to be a kick and a chase, surely.
It's going to be a drop goal, Bill.
Do you think so? Woodcock is standing back. It's Brambani who goes for it. Long distance. Has he got it? It's a long distance run. He has.
He's got it.
He's got it. Incredible. Incredible. Dominic Brambani from inside his own half, I think he was. No, just inside the Featherstone half. Has landed that drop goal. The Rovers players cannot believe it. Sheffield have won this one 29-28 with a monster drop goal from Dominic Brambani.
One of the smallest players on the pitch coming up with the biggest play. He had pressure. Mark Aston finally realised, he wasn't sure for a minute or two there, telling his players to get ready, get set for the kick-off. The whistle's gone. Dominic Brambani, he had all kinds of pressure on him. He has to move, head down, a sweet strike. Does it have the legs, the distance and the accuracy? The answer is yes. Superb. And it's probably a fitting end to a very, very seesaw game. You couldn't have picked a winner in the second half. The first half, Sheffield was so dominant, and on reflection, on the balance of the game, they deserved the win.
And Mark Aston can't believe it either. Danny Evans can't believe it. The crowd pinching themselves. The Featherstone Rovers supporters applauding their side off because they'd done the hard work. They'd opened up a 28-22 lead in this second half, but then a series of errors, and they lost the position, and Brambani, that man there in the middle of your screen, has landed the victory with that monster drop goal that's taken the wind out of Featherstone Rovers' sail. And Mark Aston making his way down to the sidelines. And what a finish to that game that is. Dominic Brambani getting his third drop goal of the season. We can hear from him now.
Dominic, what an unbelievable way to win a game.
It was unbelievable, I can't believe it. We fought all the way to end there. We didn't give up, put the 1 point over, won the game.
Did you think your chance had gone?
At one point in the game, yeah, we let them back in. I think through a 20-minute period, we let them back into the game, and we just stuck with it. Really made a lot of errors, fucking shot ourselves in foot, and just the 1 point. I can't believe it. It's a great win.
And it was a game in which no one really wanted to win it. The lead changed hands so many times. It was that sort of match.
I'd say it was a very tight game, and I thought we came through it really well, and I'm just very pleased for the lads, and just like to say thanks to Leeds Bus for helping me practice them drop goals in training.
Thanks very much, Dominic. Thanks for talking to us. Let's bring in John Sharp, the coaching consultant at Featherstone Rovers. John, the cruelest way to lose, really.
Yeah, what a great finish, but unfortunately for us it wasn't in our favour. I thought the play at the end by Brambani was a fantastic piece of skill under a lot of pressure, but I thought we invited them into the game. I thought overall there's a fair amount of errors in the game, wasn't there?
There were chances for both sides to win it, and neither side really wanted to take the 3 points.
Yeah, I heard you mention that a little bit earlier in the piece. I agree with you. I thought that both sides looked really nervous. Forcing passes, catching under pressure wasn't great for both sides, but you know, you could see that both teams were really, really nervous, and there's certainly a lot to play for.
And the sort of match that coaches live for. You've come back, you've turned things round at Featherstone. Are you enjoying it?
Having a great time. I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm enjoying the football as well. It's a little bit different, but I'm still enjoying it, yeah.
And what about goals for the season? Of course, came up via the National League 2 Grand Final last year, as Sheffield did the year before.